Every story has two sides, the one that you're told and the one that's hidden. Welcome to Twisted Storytimes.
My mom traded me for drugs. People always say a mother's love is supposed to be unconditional. That's what I believe too. But at 20 years old, I learned the painful truth. Addiction just doesn't destroy the person using it. Sometimes it destroys everyone who loves them. And the night my mother chose her addiction over me, I realized some betrayals never fully heal. Chapter 1, Coming Home. When Alyssa left college, she felt like a failure. Not because she wasn't smart, not because she couldn't do the work, but because she couldn't afford it. Every semester felt like another mountain of debt. Every financial aid meeting ended with more bad news. Eventually, reality won. So she packed her belongings and moved back home. Back to the small house she grew up in. Back to her mother. Back to the place she swore she'd never return. Her mother, Denise, hugged her tightly when she arrived. For a moment, everything felt normal almost. The problem was Denise wasn't the same woman who raised her. Years of addiction had changed her. Sometimes Denise was loving, sometimes she disappeared for days, sometimes she borrowed money she never repaid, sometimes she sold things around the house and pretended not to know what happened. Addiction had turned trust into guessing games. Still, Alyssa hoped things would improve. After all, she was home now. Chapter 2, The Slow Realization. The first few weeks wasn't terrible. Alyssa found a job, started saving money, began planning how she eventually returned to school. Then strange things started to happen. Money disappeared from her purse. Jewelry went missing. Packages she ordered never arrived. Each time Denise denied knowing anything. And each time Alyssa wanted to believe her. Because believing your own mother is lying to your hurts. Eventually, Alyssa stopped leaving valuables around the house. That's when Denise became angry, defensive, and accusing Alyssa. Suddenly, Alyssa was the problem. The tension inside the home grew heavier every day, but nothing could have prepared her for what was coming next. Chapter 3, The Night Everything Changed for Alyssa. It was nearly midnight when Alyssa heard voices downstairs. Men's voices, strangers. At first, she thought she was dreaming. Then she heard laughter, then arguing. Then her mother's voice, panicked, desperate. Alyssa quietly walked towards the stairs. What she overheard would change her life forever. Her mother owed money, a lot of money, and the people she borrowed it from wanted payment immediately. Denise had nothing left to give, no valuables, no cash, nothing. Then Alyssa heard her own name. Her stomach dropped, the room went silent. One of the men laughed. Another said she could fully hear. Then her mother said words Alyssa will never forget. She has a job. She gets paid Friday. In that moment, Alyssa understood her mother wasn't protecting her. She was offering her up as the solution to the problem she created. Not because she hated her, because addiction had become more important than anything else, even her daughter. But that wasn't all. The man was angry and said that wouldn't work. He needed his money now. She said, well, you can have my daughter for the night, and then on Friday, I'll give you your money. Chapter 4, The Escape. That night, Alyssa packed everything she could carry. A backpack, a duffel bag, her birth certificate, a few clothes, and whatever cash she had left. She didn't wait until morning. She didn't leave a note. She simply walked away, crying as she went. Not because she was losing her home, but because she realized she had already lost her mother. Years earlier, addiction had simply taken over to reveal it. Chapter 5, Years later. Years passed, Alyssa rebuilt her life, returned to school, graduated, built a career, found peace. But some wounds remained. One afternoon, she received a phone call. Her mother was in the hospital. The years had finally caught up with her. When Alyssa arrived, Denise looked smaller somehow, fragile, broken. For the first time in years, her mother cried, not from withdrawal, but from fear and regret. I'm sorry, she whispered. I sold everything that mattered for drugs. Alyssa said quietly, and her mother mumbled, even you. Then her mother added something else, something that shattered her. Ending, Denise passed away 3 days later. The apology didn't erase the pain. It didn't restore the lost years, but it gave Alyssa something she never expected. The truth. And sometimes the truth is the first step towards healing. Addiction just doesn't steal money, careers, or health. It steals trust, it steals relationships, it steals moments that can never be replaced. But another person's addiction does not have to become your identity. Sometimes the bravest thing you can do is love someone enough to stop letting their destruction become your own. The hardest part wasn't realizing my mother chose drugs over me, Alyssa said. The hardest part was realizing I still had to choose myself. Alyssa finally realized that she shouldn't feel guilty for her mother's choices, and she also shouldn't feel guilty for choosing herself by leaving that night. This is Twisted Stories, where the truth always comes out, just not how you expect it.
Thank you for turning the pages on this twisted story with us. If you like this content, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any posts from us. And remember, every twisted story have a life lesson attached to it, whether good or bad. You can learn from it and also grow. See you guys next time.